Welcome back, everybody. It's the Ultimate Pool British Open live from the McCure Hotel here in Daventry. Our final match of the night here on this Super Saturday is Scott Pope taking on Christophe Lambert. It's Scott who gets us underway. I can't believe he was about to not make a ball, but he has indeed made a ball off that break. The split doesn't look particularly kind as I look at it first glance. This is just to decide who tops the group in this one. Both Christophe and Scott have already qualified, which does mean that Ian Alley is the man who falls by the wayside in Group 28. Ian winning 2 but losing 2 of his matches. He was the wrong side of a defeat by Scott Pope and the wrong side of a defeat by Christophe Lambert. So Christophe has won 3, Scott has won 3. This is just to decide who tops the group in Group 28. Stephen Jameson, Simon Webb here with you as Scott plays quite a menagerie of a shot there just to get things underway.
Yeah, may not be as much drama on this match as others we've had throughout the night, but still a very nice match for us to enjoy to round out our day. Christophe Lambert, always a treat to watch, and Scott Pope is an entertainer out there for sure.
That's an excellent shot. Yeah, I think when this match was originally picked for the stream here on Ultimate Pool TV, you know, I can see exactly what the selectors were thinking, because you look at this group, you think it's box office, you're thinking Ali might get a result when he's backed up against the wall, and this could have been a shootout for qualification between two really eye-catching and quality players. But alas, they've managed to get the job done ahead of time. But it just means they can free up, and hopefully we get a little bit of an exhibition, because these two are both definitely capable of that. Just left himself a little funky on this 8-ball. He's done quite a lot of hard work. Is he thinking a treble here? Is he going to Zorro his way through these reds? Hold on to your hats, folks. Oh, he tried to. Not to be. There really wasn't much room there, and Christophe Lambert is going to get a pretty nice starter here in frame number 1. I'm always interested to see how Christophe goes. We don't really have too many favourites as Ultimate Pool commentators, but I think my love of Christophe is pretty well known to most. I absolutely just find myself rooting for him. I love the way he plays. I love how nice a guy he is off the table. I love the support that he carries from France, and yeah, difficult guy to root against. And I'm interested to see what he can produce in 2025. He has already been an Ultimate Pool champion, won a title in the summer of 2023. But he produced some memorable moments last year without quite getting over the line.
He really is a great player to watch. Has all the tricks, all the shots, all the patterns, all the plays, and everything else you just mentioned. This was a fairly routine one for him. Nice way for him to start off.
Yeah, it was a part of our Ultimate Pool moment of the year in 2024, as he and Tom Cousins served up an absolute classic in one of our late Pro Series events. Can't remember if it was 9 or 10 now, but it was the last weekend of the Ultimate Pool Pro Series, and I mean the match itself was insane, but the 6 red shootouts that followed it were farcical.
Yeah, absolutely farcical. What was the 18 was beaten?
I think it was 17 was beaten by 16, I think, was the...
it was just silly. Yeah, sub 18 was beaten, yeah, crazy. Not quite the 1509 of Brown Halcrope in a very different circumstance. Absolutely incredible scenes, and just shows you what Christophe Lambert can do. Goes for his trademark big break cue.
You watch a break like that and you sometimes wonder how on earth is it ever dry, but alas for Christophe, it is. Very good evening, by the way, to those of you watching us on the Ultimate Pool Facebook page. Just ticking over 10 o'clock here at the McCure Court Hotel in Daventry. Stephen Jameson and Simon Webb here with you for our final match of the day here on the British Open stream as we round out our group matches. Scott Pope and Christophe Lambert don't, in the end, have any jeopardy on this match, courtesy of the result that came before. This is just a battle for who tops the group, which could, in theory, it might pay off because the ones will play the twos in the round of 64 tomorrow. So, by and large, the averages probably dictate you want to avoid finishing second, because I think the vast majority of the big boys, if you like, have all won their groups and won comfy. We'll bring you across the groups in just a moment once Scott gets out of this. He's taken out a really nice finish here as Scott Pope. Impresses me every single time I watch him. Had a great run at the British Open last year, actually, did Scott, all the way through to the semi-final, as he goes 1-1. Okay, so this is how it stands then in the British Open. In Group 1, the action is concluded. Tom Cousins and Zach Cooper are the ones who get it done. Joe Nolte eliminated on frame difference, having also won 3 and lost 1. Tough one to take for Joe Nolte. Dom Cooney went 4-0 in his group. Preston McInnes is the man to join him in the last 64. He got through by 1 frame on frame difference against the new Ultimate Pool pro David McQuillan of Ireland. In Group 3, Zach Shepherd also goes 4-0. Hitan Patel scrapes through by his chinny chin head-to-head against John Egan. We had that matchup a little bit earlier, which shows crazy permutations. 3 players all finishing on 4 points. And it was Hitan Patel who got through in the end on head-to-head after frame difference couldn't separate him and John Egan. Pretty incredible way to win that. And we'll round up Group 4. Ian Rogers through 3 matches, 1 defeat. Rob Warren joining him in Group 4's qualification ranks. Bring you all the results from the other groups as we go through this match here. But it's Scott Pope once again at the table here in Daventry side.
Yeah, and a very good layout for him. Tries to develop the one bad ball, which he's done. It's still away from the rest of his work, so it still remains the tricky ball. Interesting to see whether he leaves it to the last now. Loaded that one up with an awful lot of side, just to stay underneath the yellow. Key shot here, needs the bump, gets it, beautiful shot. And another very nice finish from Scott Pope. Made it look very simple indeed. Gets himself in front. Christophe can do. Watches on, waits for his next opportunity. Slim pickings for him so far in the match.
Let's bring you through groups 5 through 9. Josh Kane and Frank Costello are through from group 5. Josh Kane going 4-0 in that group. Andrew Patchett, the other pro in it, not making it out. In group 6, Phil Parkin goes 4-0. He played a beautiful game earlier against John Chambers, probably our match of the day actually. Jasper Bandau, who was a winner on the Challenger Series Tier 2 last year, has got through on frame difference over John Chambers. In group 7, Liam White and Joe Prince have survived a bit of a shark tank of a group. Ronan Fay just missing out on frame difference. In group 8, Joseph Sison tops the group. He wins 4 and loses none in a group that contained Chris Melling and another Ultimate Pool pro in Ricky Jones. Terrific result that for Joe Sison. In group 9, Luke Gilbert and Aidan Hughes, the 2 pros, make it through, both going 3-1 to qualify through to the draw tomorrow. And in group 10, Shane Thompson and Callum Singleton, the 2 pros, make it through, both pretty comfortably in the end. Shane Thompson winning 4 out of 4, Callum Singleton only losing to Shane.
Interesting layout here for Christophe following the break. Want to be yellows, he doesn't have a yellow. He's been asked to go and sit down. Maybe a slight issue with the clock here. Doing the right thing, just getting away from the table. Maybe he can go cushion first to get the yellow over the top left-hand corner pocket. And it's that ball is the reason why you want to go yellows, because it blocks the 8 ball. Hasn't quite landed perfectly here, so a couple of good shots required. Straight isn't perfect. Love an angle to get to the middle of the table here. Just going to go too far, quite a narrow line. Just pulls up to make it not really a problem. Forced an angle there. Having a look to see if that yellow underneath the red goes top right. Oh, it does. It does. I said he wasn't. He went a bit too far on the previous one because I thought he was trying to play on the one bottom left. He may well have been, but that was his intended ball this time round, and now he's really hampered. Oh, he was walking back to his chair. He thought he'd gone in off. Interesting technique there for Christophe. He didn't actually get down on the shot normally. Stood up on it. Maybe it's because it's got a blind cutback. Looks like cue ball's in the pocket. I've not seen Christophe do that before. He's got a tough shot here. Frustration for Christophe, his first real mistake in the match. Slim picking so far. He's staring 3-1 in the face here. Scott just has to get to the left-hand side of the red nearest the 8 ball. Well, played into it, which I'm a little bit surprised at, in all honesty. I know it didn't pass the red to top right. I thought he'd play on the one top right and then work his way back round to it. Slightly risky playing into it the way he did, but it's come out really nicely for him. Again, decides to punch into the 8 ball. That was a very strange shot. Why are you doing that? He's ended up nowhere.
Yeah, got to play good safety now to recover. How's your line? Pretty good. The fact that the yellow is basically on the 8 ball spot, it's a pretty hard ball just to hit because it's so in the open.
Yeah, the only thing you'd say from Scott's perspective is that there is an area of the table that Christophe can get to which stops there being a red on. You know, if he can get somewhere near left centre pocket. So good hit, and there is he's going to need a big piece of good fortune here, but
has he got it? No,
not really. Simple red into right centre, and frame will be over.
It has been a running theme really all throughout the first 2 days of the British Open event here. Players have just struggled to adapt a little bit to the conditions out there. Very, very fast. A couple of loose positional shots is all it takes to really make a player look silly out there. Scott Pope recovers and wins the frame. Excellent job from Scott as we continue to run you through the groups situation here at the end of day 2. Kingsley Peck comes through Group 11 ahead of Cole Bedford and Rob Chambers, the 2 Ultimate Pool pros. It's Cole who qualifies though alongside Kingsley. Well played to him. 4-0 for Kingsley Peck. In Group 12, Rab McCullough and Greg Batten are safely through. Rab winning all of his matches. Greg getting over Gerard Boyle just by frame difference alone. Phil Harrison and Carl O'Donoghue safely through in Group 13. They were both excellent earlier today. Phil winning all of his matches. Dylan Leary and Charlie Begley come through in Group 14. In Group 15, Vivek Mack, a return to form for him. He went 4-0 in Group 15. Tom Jones, the other player, through in that group. Andy Williams and Darren Leach through in Group 16. And John, not through, I should say. I spoke too soon there. It's not quite over. But John McAllister has got work to do. He is currently 3rd. He must win to join Andy Williams and Darren Leach on 6 points. He's playing Ryan Barnes, who is bottom of the group. He's lost all 3 of his matches, but Ryan Barnes is currently 2-0 in front. So John McAllister needs to turn that around. If he wins, he'll go to 6 points, and he should top the group on frame difference. Well, that would throw the cat among the pigeons. Andy Williams getting a big win over John McAllister in the last match that John played, and he needed it, and he found it. And bring up to speed with Group 16, Clayton Castaldi and Craig Waddingham, currently both well placed. Craig should qualify through when his last match finishes in just a moment. He's currently 3-2 in front of that one. As we go back to the action here, Scott Pope at the table again.
And that red going in hurts him. It means he can't land nicely at the top of the table and he's going to go in off. Hasn't played, actually, considering he's 3-1 up. Scott's not been at his best level. Just losing the white out there. Last frame he needed 2 visits to counter clear, although, if you don't miss, you don't, you've got power to save the situation, play good safety, which is what he did. But he needed a couple of chances in a few of the frames so far. And even the frame he lost, he had first visit in and he felt he was going to mop it up and didn't. just trying to work it out. There is an out here for him. It's just the only ball he can really pot from where he is. I mean, I suppose he could pot the clip in the yellow at the top of the table, but you're losing control. And that's why he's played that one off the red. I was about to say the yellow was so straight into the centre, it was hard to do anything with it. But takes it long, opens up the bottom right corner, and gets better on the ball at the top. That was excellent work.
That's a lovely shot, isn't it? Really, really good that from Christophe. Yeah, just a little shake of the head. I wonder if he's another latest in a very long line of players who are just struggling to find their cue ball.
Yeah, just finished the wrong side of it again.
That's a lovely kiss. And then goes the 8 ball. 3-2. Back in the game is Christophe Lambert. Continue running through the qualifiers so far. Group 18, Ryan Pisani through, 4 wins out of 4. Christy Caulfield is also going to be joining him in the next round. Group 19, we just saw the conclusions to this. Neil Raybone and Michael Hope both going through. Oli Bale eliminated by a single solitary frame down into the plate competition tomorrow. Sean Sharkey and Stevie Dempsey both make it out alive from Group 20. Group 21, Ben Doyle has enjoyed a great start to life as an Ultimate Pool Pro. 4 wins out of 4 in a pretty tough group. Aaron Davies also qualifying through. That 6-red shootout win against TJ Bateman, the difference in qualifying for Aaron. Group 22, Tom Kennedy and Evan Plummer both making it through. They're 2 challenger players, Jez Graham and Chris Hampson. The 2 pros are in a little bit of bother. Chris Hampson is definitely eliminated. And I might be speaking too early because I think Jez Graham can still qualify. His match is still live. In fact, he will qualify. He's on the hill 4-0 up against Joaquim Shitas, and if he wins that, he will jump ahead of Evan Plummer. So Tom Kennedy and Jez Graham with qualifiers out of 22. Carl Sutton and Dave Fernandez have made it out of Group 23. Leo Fernandez and Sean Chipperfield have qualified out of Group 24.
Tough break that one for Christophe. Gives another first visit to Scott Pope. It just feels like Scott's having pretty much all the chances right now. And this one's routine, wide open. Roll them in pretty quick here and get on the hill. As easy as that. I said it was a pretty good layout. He's made it look very, very simple. Economy of movement. Cue ball barely moved at all. And he has the next break as well. If Scott wins the next frame, you're going to run out of time to go through all the groups. There's 32 of them.
Frame 7, Scott back to break. 4 frames to 2.
Oh, disaster for Scott Pope.
You see Scott sitting down, just trying to eye the table. How good a layout is it? How likely is it that he gets back to the table in this visit? Always fear the worst when you go in off your break.
Call. Red ball's in play.
See the one near the bottom right-hand corner pocket. Just has to play one good shot, get back in line. These all go. It's just the connections aren't perfect. Especially the one near the top right-hand corner pocket. Decided not to come back and get straighter in on this red. Rather take the guaranteed gap, back himself to make a thin clip.
Oh, that's lovely.
It's thin in the middle. He could just take this long and take all that out of it. Looks like he's really set on the middle pocket. Cue ball's going to be flying around the table. He's such a good potter, just take it long.
And there we go. Christophe Lambert is back in the hunt. As we continue to run you through the list of qualifiers in the British Open. Sean Storey and Andy Milliard are going to be the 2-3 from Group 25. They're currently playing right now, but that's a similar situation to this. They're playing for 1 and 2. Darryl Whitworth and Kevin George are through. Kyle Cope is out if he doesn't win his last match. So Darryl Whitworth at the minute is through. He's got the beneficial of a frame difference, and Kyle Cope needs to beat Tommy Donlan to get through. And at the moment that is 3-3. Tommy Donlan can cause a bit of an upset there. Scott Pride at the minute is through, but that is really changeable. Group 27. He's playing Carl Morris currently. Eddie Barker is played out. He's 3-1. Carl Morris can go to 3-1 if he beats Scott Pride, which would also take Scott Pride to 3-1. That group is very much up in the air. Group 28 we're watching right now. Scott Pope and Christophe Lambert are through. Darren McVicker is through out of Group 29. He's won 3 out of 3. He's currently playing Chris Day, who needs to beat him, and if he does that, it may well knock Darren McVicker down and out, because Josh Duhas is in the mix there as well. That's a really interesting finish to that match. Go into your final match 3-0, lose it, and you might well go out. That's a tough one to take. Group 30 is almost decided. Jimmy Croxton is played out. He will qualify. He's won 3 and lost 1. Charlie Earnshaw is also played out, but he's relying on results to go his way. Jordan Shepherd currently 4-0 up on David Mills, and if that goes to 5, that will be Jordan Shepherd through by courtesy of 2 frames over the young pocket rocket. Brian Halcrow through in Group 31. He's won 4 and lost none of his matches, and frame difference of 14. One of the best performances of the week from Brian Halcrow there. John Rowe is out. He was the other pro in that group. Luke Hart looks like the man to qualify through. In the final group, Declan Brennan is through. I say that. Yeah, he should be through. That's a really interesting group of 4 players currently on 4 points, which is mad. But Declan is currently top, and he's the only one still with a match to play. He's 1-0 up with Kurt Brewer, and any result there for Declan will see him through, but he's currently top of the group anyway. And Ross Smith is going to go through by 1 frame over Cohen Bradford, the difference between 2nd and 3rd. And there you go, you are up to date.
And just shows you how many groups. We'll see Christophe miss a It's a ball. Tricky shot there. But how many groups go right the way down to a frame here or there? It's quite incredible. It really does matter all the way in these groups. Every frame matters. Just coming up to the final 5 minutes where things will change. We'll go to 15 seconds a shot. Scott will be eyeing up getting out here and just rounding out the match, not worrying about the match clock. Doesn't get out in this visit. That match clock's in play though.
Second shot clock now in play.
Well, that's not the best of shots from Scott. I think the previous shot wasn't the best either. He pulled it back too far, had to go twice across, and that's what's left him on the cushion. This is very awkward. Yeah, not surprised to see that miss. And he has left the red on. Great camera angle, really, to see the shakes of Christophe Lambert, the trademark shakes. Always done that. All square with 3:25 to play. Could finish our Saturday night drama with a 6 red shootout here. Depends on how the layout comes out. Both these players will have time for a clearance or a counter clearance as well, actually. There's that much time left in, but if it gets messy, then it's very much in play.
So a decider between Scott Pope and Christophe Lambert. It's been a funny old match, this. I think it's the sort of match that can happen when there is essentially not much actually on it, that you can make a couple of silly mistakes, but also you can play some really good pool at the same time. It's kind of been the match that it's been.
I think with the amount of chances that Scott Pope's had in this match, I'd be very disappointed not to have won. I know what you're saying in terms of kind of maybe a little bit of intensity, but a number of times he's had counter clearances and pretty wide open, really done the work, and then just let the cue ball run loose. Last frame was a prime example of that, where Scott's at a level where he shouldn't be making those errors. Might come back to cost him, because Christophe's in here for the clearance to win it. That's not ideal. Did not get the cannon he wanted. He was playing the cannon on the red, wanted it full ball. So the cue ball's going to be running a little bit loose here. Uses another red to hold it. Excellent shot. Beautiful touch. Beautiful shot here from Christophe. Such a competitor. Been behind all the way through. Just kept scrapping, kept being given extra lifelines from Scott Pope, and he's going to get to the 8 ball and miss for it.
Steadies himself, straightens him up. This 8 ball for the win, and in it flies from the French phenom. A 5-4 win over Scott Pope. Both these players will be in the British Open main draw tomorrow, and Christophe Lambert will be in as a first seed, one of 32 who have made it through, topping their group in this British Open tournament.